Point number two is there comes a point of diminishing returns. So there comes a point, whether you're practicing a new scale, if you're practicing some kind of arpeggio, if you're practicing some kind of chord change, if you're practicing a song, no matter what it is that you're practicing, there comes a point where you just rammed your head up against the wall for long enough and you're not going to get any better, at least for that day. So it's time to stop, it's time to put it away and move on and try it again the next day. And one of the famous composers said this. I don't know if it was Rachmaninoff or Chopin or Beethoven. Somebody said that they only practice for like 2 or 3 hours a day, which I know still sounds like a lot. But let's say for you, they only practice an hour a day. And if one of the greatest composers of all time is practicing for 2 hours a day, you can practice an hour. They wouldn't go above that because they believed in this concept of diminishing returns, where no matter how many times you banged your head up against the wall, no matter how many times you just tried to replay it and maybe change your fingering, you're not getting any better. In fact, I know when I've done this, when I've tried to bash my head up against the wall concept, I might actually be getting worse because my brain is fried. I'm getting just annoyed and angry at myself. And I'm just getting bodily fatigued, physically fatigued, and mentally fatigued because I'm trying to do the same thing over and over again. And it's just not working. At that time, it's time to just stop, shut off the piano, step away from the piano, even if it's just for like 10 minutes maybe, and come back. I would suggest you just wait till the next day, but you can do it in like 10 minutes, come back, see if that helps. But there's a point of diminishing returns where you're not improving, even if you are continuing to practice. Again, same thing with the weightlifting. If you're in the gym for 6 hours a day and you're lifting weights for 6 hours a day, there comes a point where you're lifting too much and you can hurt yourself. You're not recovering, so your body doesn't have time to grow. Your muscles don't have time to develop because you're constantly just destroying them and wearing them down. You need that recovery time, which kind of leads me into point number 3 here as well, is when you are learning the piano, learning happens when you're sleeping. It's not necessarily learning right there on the spot. Like you might learn a new chord instantly. If you Google what's an E flat minor chord and you don't know what that is, it's going to tell you. And yeah, okay, you've learned that E flat minor chord, but you need to really sleep on things that you've learned, especially piano when it comes to more physical movements, because that's how muscle memory gets developed. And that's how you actually ingrain it into yourself is when you go to sleep.